Hi, and welcome to Book Review. This is the first one, and today I'm going to focus on the first book of a trilogy called Viking Warrior. This Chronicles is by Judson Roberts. This is a first-person view of Halfdan, who was born as a slave even though his mother was a princess and his father was a chiefman. But one day he finally got his freedom, and now he is training as a Viking warrior. During that time, he met his extended family and actually learning how to be as a soldier and stuff like that. It's a really straightforward plot. The first thing I noticed with this book is actually how historically accurate when it comes. And, with the wars and stuff like that, it's pretty much actually what historians actually written down and stuff like that. And also what I like was the religion concept going on. You have one who believes in Norse mythology with many gods and stuff like that, and you also have one with Christianity. And I thought that was pretty good, and I wish he had actually focused a little bit more in the plot because that what really brought my attention. Another thing I really liked was the simplified of the book it has. It's really straightforward reading. There's no big words in here where you had to have a dictionary 24/7 just to get the book by. There's also, what else was handy back here? There was a list of characters, a glossary, and a historical note. So you can actually get a better idea of the book if you really need to. And that's what that's what I can really credit about this author, what he had done right. As with any book, I found some problems that really kind of bugged me out of my mind. The first one was writing style. Even though it was simplified, it talked in passive tense instead of active, and it made me had this impression that this author doesn't know what he's doing because it sounds really weak. Another problem I found was similes. The similes actually shouldn't be there because they were cliched, over the top, and just really cheesy. It's just like a 5-second thought simile, and I thought that kind of just really ruins it because it just expands the book instead of shortening it. Another problem I found was just describing the character because he would describe a person's hair color about maybe 20 times in 5 pages. I get the point that his hair is blonde, but really, isn't that really that important? Because you'll notice that I will criticize a person's book when they describe characters because they really don't do much. Unless you have an important reason why you want to describe the characters, just don't do it. Another trouble I found was that right smack in the beginning of the book is that he used 3 characters and they all start with the name of H. That really got confusing because it's like the equivalent of having 3 main characters with the name of Josh, Joe, and Jones. People are not going to know who's Josh, who's Joe, and who's Jones because they might confuse that Josh is the evil one, while Jones is the little prince kind of guy, and Josh is the main character. So that really got confusing. And one last problem I found was the main character himself, because he doesn't seem to have this flaws. He has a lot of talent, and he exposed that, but doesn't have a lot of flaws. And really, that got confusing. He got scared, but everybody gets scared when they're in ward. So it's kind of like a no-duh factor there. And that's one of the major problems I found in this book. I consider this actually a decent book. I recommend this who likes history or who likes a fictional war story and not into the fantasy kind of guys. This is more like a guidebook, but many girls might like it too. It's not a love story, so sorry girls, you better read Twilight. And I give this book about a 6 out of 10. And I'm gonna read the trilogy. It got my attention, and hopefully this author is actually a noob, and he'll correct the mistakes that I have suggested. But I highly doubt he will. All right, this is it. See you later.